I've got some great news for you guys this afternoon. Matter of fact, this isn't just great news. This news is great. After 2 years of heartache, 2 years of pain, after 2 years of frantically searching for their anonymous loved one, after 2 years of not knowing where in the hell she is, after 2 years of wondering why she disappeared from the mainstream, after 2 years of family and friends begging Uncle Casey to find her. Please, Uncle Casey, help us find our Tiffer. Even though we forget her name, family reunions just aren't the same without her. It might have taken 2 years, but Uncle Casey has finally found Tiffany Cross, formerly known as Tiffer the Bongo Sniffer. Yesterday, Tiffer made a surprise appearance on a Zoom call. What a fall from grace. 2 years ago, Tiffany Cross was featured prominently every weekend on MSNBC. During the week, she was the driver for the Wicked Weave. Every afternoon, she would drive Joy Reid's broom to the studio. Every once in a while, Joy would invite the Tiffer on her primetime dump so they could reminisce about the good old days of mythical racism. Oh, Joy, remember when we were making millions exploiting our own community? Oh, Tiffer, my best memories were our picnic lunches where we combined our collective brain cell and made shit up about white people. Tiffany Cross went from being prominently featured on MSNBC to making appearances on Zoom calls. Right now, deacons at Woke United Methodist, they are applying pressure to MSNBC. It's a tale as old as time. A major corporation has the audacity to fire an underperformer. A major corporation has the audacity to fire someone who belongs to multiple marginalized groups. And instead of the deacons accepting the truth, instead of pretend friends acknowledging the fact that Joy Reid had become a huge embarrassing failure, they used the firing of Joy Reid in a desperate attempt to revive the business of mythical racism. They used the firing of Joy Reid in a desperate attempt to bring attention to themselves. I mean, seriously. When is the last time you heard anything about Tiffany Cross? We have women at MSNBC shaving their heads bald. No one pays attention. But as soon as they accuse the network of mythical racism, they get noticed. The problem is, the attention is only temporary. They keep relying on the same failed gimmick to revive their careers. It kind of reminds me of Hulk Hogan in the mid-90s. For a decade, Hulk Hogan made millions as the real American. I am a real American. He was telling kids to take their vitamins and say their prayers. He was waving the American flag. He was telling kids to obey their parents. 10 years later, those kids had grown up. They were tired of listening to some bald geezer telling them to take their vitamins. Now, to his credit, Hulk Hogan was able to adapt. He became Hollywood Hogan and extended his wrestling career through another decade. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the other balding beauty, Joy Reid. Just like Hulk Hogan's audience, the Wicked Weave's audience grew up. They quit believing the fairy tales. They quit believing the myth of mythical racism, which is why her ratings plummeted in the key 25 to 54 demo. The artist formerly known as Weave, she was still able to trick older people. She was still able to hypnotize the kids with stories of mythical racism. But anyone with an IQ above single digits, they knew Joy Reid was full of shit. Her pretend friends, they're applying pressure to MSNBC by accusing them of mythical racism. But Tiffany Cross, she is taking it a step further. It's not enough for MSNBC to be accused. It's not enough for MSNBC to be charged with violating the woke commandments. Tiffany Cross, she wants the black community, the same community that she exploits. Tiffany Cross wants the black community to boycott MSNBC. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. Are you struggling with back problems? Do you deal with minor aches, minor pains throughout your day, and you just don't want to go to the doctor because all the doctor's going to do is find something else wrong with you? Or even worse, prescribe addictive medication that you just don't want to take? Me personally, I can't stand going to the doctor. So does my wife, who actually deals with back pain, which is why she started using CBD lotions and oils from Sugar Mountain Trading. Now, this is not THC. This is not going to make you fail a drug test. These CBD lotions and oils, they are designed for rapid pain relief. Like I said, my wife, she deals with nagging back pain from time to time. We tried over-the-counter stuff. We tried the chiropractor. Nothing ever seemed to work for her. Within 5 minutes of me applying CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, her pain was gone. I'm telling you, it is damn near magical. My wife, she keeps a bottle in her purse with her at all times. Sugar Mountain Trading also offers CBD bar soap that will keep you pain-free and smelling fresh at the same time. The bar soap comes in a variety of scents ranging from lavender to cherry almond. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20, BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Headline at Mediaite: Tiffany Cross calls on black people to dump MSNBC. My inside sources are telling me that when Tiffany Cross called most of these black people, they didn't know who in the hell she was. Hey, friend, it's me, Tiffany Cross. Who? Who in the hell's Bethany Ross? My name is Tiffany. It doesn't matter what your name is. According to Mediaite, there was a Zoom call yesterday with prominent black voices. Now, this was a very important meeting. They wanted to discuss strategy. They wanted to formulate a plan to fight MSNBC. This meeting was so important, only the heavy hitters were invited to participate. The Zoom meeting consisted of Tiffany Cross, Joy Reid, Latasha Brown, and Angela Rye. Who, and who? Who in the hell are these people? The only one I think I've heard of besides Tiffany Cross is Angela Rye. I think she used to appear on The Breakfast Club with Charlie Man the Frog. But Joy Reid, Tasha Brown? I'm in the media every day. I've never heard of them. How are these prominent voices? In order to have prominence, you have to have influence. In order to have influence, you have to have an audience. One of the reasons that Tiffany Cross was fired by MSNBC, she didn't have an audience. The meeting started with Tiffany Cross explaining how they are all leaders. Unfortunately, she didn't really explain what they were leading. The only thing I see Tiffany Cross leading is votes for the upcoming 3rd annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards. Tiffer then explained how it is rare for black women and black voices to be featured in the mainstream media. Well, I guess she's never watched ESPN. When I was growing up, it was called BET. They used to have great shows too. Rap City, 106th and Park. Now, it's boring shows featuring pretend analysts like Mina Kimes that no one is watching. But Tiffer, she then called for black people to boycott MSNBC. Watch it for yourself.
Don't watch where you're not welcome. Don't shop where they won't hire you. The same thing they say. Don't even hate watch. And don't believe the hype, because what comes next are the attacks where they just start making up stuff. So brace yourself, because y'all are going to hear some things and they're going to try to say some things, because when movement happens, they don't know how black women move. And because they don't know that, they move like colonizers, and then they try to put out an attack. We are here to support Joy. Don't believe the hype about the ratings. Her show was doing very well. You know whose ratings ain't doing well, who ain't never got fired? Morning Joe Scarborough. They went to Kiss the Ring and they are still being elevated. Joy's show has rated very well. She's always done well. There are people in positions of power who do not like her opinions.
Let me ask you something. What the hell is a colonizer? Seriously, I had to look it up. According to Google, a colonizer is a country that sends settlers to another country and establishes political control. How exactly is MSNBC a colonizer? How is MSNBC a colonizer for firing one of their employees? Someone please make it make sense. I get so tired of the whining. I get so tired of the complaining. Earlier in the clip, Tiffany Cross, she mentioned the lack of black women in newsrooms. We don't have influence. We don't have voices. It's not fair. It has never been easier to have a voice. It has never been easier to launch your own platform. Take me for example. You know how many people helped me with this platform? You know how many people or media outlets promoted me? None. YouTube provided me with the platform. I took advantage of the opportunity. It's the same opportunity that Joy Reid has, same opportunity that Jamel Hill has, Tiffany Cross. No one is stopping you from having a voice. But just because you have a voice, that does not mean people are required to listen. 5 years ago, Bob Brillante and J.C. Watts, they launched the Black News Channel. It was an opportunity for Joy Reid and Tiffany Cross to work at a network that aligned with their values. The network was specifically designed to target the African American demographic. Now, those aren't my words. That came directly from their website. Believe it or not, I used to watch the Black News Channel. Mark Lamont Hill, he had a show on there in prime time. Politically, I have nothing in common with Mark Lamont Hill, but he is one of the very few, that can actually make a compelling argument. He's one of few deacons at Woke United Methodist who can actually make me think instead of making me laugh. Even though I don't agree with him, I do respect him. Apparently, I was one of the only ones watching the network because 2 years later, the Black News Channel filed for bankruptcy. Why? They weren't making any money because no one was watching them. No one was supporting them. How come Tiffany Cross wasn't supporting them? How come Joy Reid wasn't supporting them? I'd be willing to bet most people have never heard of the Black News Channel. Tiffany Cross claimed that there are people in positions of power who did not like Joy Reid's opinions. And you know what? She is absolutely right. The people in power, they did not like Joy Reid. Now, I'm not talking about management at MSNBC, which, by the way, when Tiffany Cross was fired at MSNBC, she was not fired by the white man. She was actually fired by a strong black woman, Rashida Jones. But anyway, executives at MSNBC, they did not make this decision with Joy Reid. They implemented the decision, but they didn't make it. The people in power decided that Joy Reid was no longer worth watching. It was a decision that was made by, 800,000 people who quit watching Joy Reid. You really think MSNBC is worried about a boycott? You really think MSNBC is worried about Tiffany Cross? How can you boycott a network that's already been boycotted? People aren't watching MSNBC now. So how in the hell is a boycott going to be effective? Give me your thoughts on this. Tiffany Cross demands that black people quit watching MSNBC, even though everyone decided months ago to quit watching the network. Does anyone care? Is anyone actually listening to Tiffany Cross? Me personally, I don't think MSNBC is worried about this. I don't think they are feeling the pressure because the people applying the pressure no longer have any credibility. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.